Against every team in their division except one, the Cleveland Indians. The Indians have given the Tigers fits this season, but tonight in front of the Comerica crowd, the home team expects to trounce the Tribe. The Detroiters will call on their recent acquisition, Anibal Sanchez. The righty has all the tools to beat the Indians, but the Tiger bats will need to step up as well. It's Friday Night Baseball. It's downtown Detroit. It's a Central Division showdown. It starts now. And it is a beautiful night for baseball here in the Motor City. The Tigers take the field. Anibal Sanchez walks out of the mound for the first time wearing the home whites. And we remind you, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you will get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Here is the starting lineup for the visiting Cleveland Indians, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Kipnis, Cabrera, and Chu are your top 3 tonight. Santana back in the cleanup slot. Then Brantley and Lopez. Casey Kochman hits really well here at Comerica. Hanahan and Herrera, who was just called up today for the Cleveland Indians. So we're ready for baseball here as Jason Kipnis stands in to lead things off on a gorgeous night here in downtown Detroit. Tigers back home. They've got the Indians this weekend, and Kipnis batting .266. Stands in the batter's box. Anibal Sanchez ready to go, and here's the first pitch of tonight's ball game. It's right at the knees and a strike ball. Kipnis, then Cabrera, and then Shin-Soo Choo. Anibal ready with the 0-1. And it darts low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The last number of times we have seen this Cleveland Indians team, it was Kipnis that was batting third and Chu was leading off. They flip-flop spots here tonight.
There's a bouncing ball to the right side. It finds the hole. It's a base hit for Kipnis. Here are the numbers on Anibal, courtesy of Soaring Eagle Casino.
Sanchez admitted he really didn't have his A game in Toronto 5 days ago. He gave up 3 home runs in that ballpark. He left quite a few balls up in the zone. That's not his MO. Expect him to get the ball down here tonight against the Tribe.
So here comes Asdrubal Cabrera. He's batting now with the leadoff man on. It's been a rough stretch for these Cleveland Indians. They've lost 6 straight.
They got swept in Minnie and Kansas City.
Yeah, the second half has not been very kind to the Indians. Cabrera lines one to right field. That'll sink in for a base hit.
But
to second goes Kipnis.
But make no mistake about it, they come in here with a lot of confidence. They've beaten the Detroit Tigers 7 out of 9 times this year, so they are sky high. Beaumont will sponsor the Tigers defensive alignment tonight. Yes, that is Andy Dirks. He is back. He is in right field today. Fielder's at first. Infante is at second. Santiago's at short. Miggy is over at third. And Alex Avila, who caught Sanchez last time, also catching him again tonight.
Good to see Andy Dirks back in the Tiger uniform, off the disabled list today. He is out there in right field. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. And he looks at a strike from Sanchez. Chu is batting .290 with 39 RBIs. 2 on with nobody out. Early scoring chance for the Indians. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Chu. Anibal is 28 years old, out of Maracay, Venezuela. And these are some numbers here that include his National League and American League numbers.
Does a much better job against left-handers, and the reason for that is he has an outstanding changeup that fades down and away from the left-handed batters.
Chu takes low, 1-2. Shin-Soo just 4 for his last 22. On deck is Carlos Santana, who's back in the cleanup spot for them after batting lower in the lineup when the Tigers were last in Cleveland on the last road trip.
He has gotten hot since we've last seen him, too.
Now time called as home plate umpire Andy Fletcher gives Chu time, and it looks like Mr. Fletcher's wrist has not healed yet. He was nicked by a foul ball which broke his hand. So he's got the cast working again tonight. And the 1-2. Bouncing ball hit slowly towards second. Infante has it. And they're going to say the runner was tagged, and here comes Manny Acta. They're going to call Cabrera out as well.
I don't know if they're going to say he was tagged, but I think they're going to say that he ran out of the baseline, because I don't think Infante touched him with his glove.
And that's exactly what they're apparently talking about right now. So a break there for the Tigers. That'll leave a runner at third with 2 outs. Let's look at it again. Doesn't look like he tagged him. So either way, they're going to call Cabrera out. Manny Acta's argument doesn't last very long with Country Joe West. You're not going to convince Cabrera that he's out. 2 gone runner at third. And now Carlos Santana. Hitting only 182 this year against the Tigers. Santana 238 overall. And ball 1 missing outside. Santana, as we mentioned, was not batting cleanup the last time we saw the Indians. However, he has 16 RBIs in his last 18 games, so he's started to heat things up a little bit.
Which means if you're Sanchez, you really don't have to give in to him with 2 outs and a base open.
They had Michael Brantley batting cleanup. Here is the Bernstein advantage on Carlos Santana. The scouting report brought to you by the Bernstein advantage, and you see that in his last 15, the slugging percentage is way up.
Trotting around the baseball at Diamond quite frequently as well, with 6 home runs.
Wave and a miss. 2-1. And Sanchez didn't give in there on a 2-0 count.
It's that changeup that we talked about that Sanchez features. It fades down and away from the left-handers, and that's why his numbers are really good against left-handed batters.
Anibal making his second start as a Tiger. His first start came in Toronto. Went 6 innings, allowing 5 runs in that game, and a check swing looked like he went. Yes, says Sam Holbrook.
The 2-0 pitch was a fading changeup away, and here's a slider that Sanchez thinks is going to be right down the middle of the plate. He starts his swing, tries to hold up, but he couldn't hold up. But that gives you an idea of the action that Sanchez has on the slider.
2-2 on Carlos Santana. Indians had what looked like to be a promising inning, getting the first 2 men on, but a double play ball has left Kipnis at third with 2 outs. And the 2-2. Just off the plate at 95 miles an hour, and the count fills now 3-2.
Yeah, there was a time when Sanchez threw 98 miles an hour. He doesn't throw that hard anymore, but 95. That is still a really good fastball, and that one did not miss by much.
And the 3-2. He walked him. So Santana draws a 2-out base on balls. We'll keep the inning going now for Michael Brantley.
I'm sure when Jeff Jones went over the scouting report of the Cleveland Indians today with Sanchez before the game, it was that you don't have to pitch to Santana. If you get a chance to pitch around him, pitch around him. He's the one guy on their team that's hot right now. They've got some other guys that have been consistent, and Brantley would be one of those guys. He's been consistent all year, but right now, not nearly as dangerous as Santana is.
So Brantley batting 288 steps in, and Santana draws a throw. It was Brantley that was batting cleanup when we last saw the Indians. However, in the cleanup spot this year, batting just 207. When he bats fifth, his spot tonight is average much higher. And he grounds one right at Prince at the bag to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, a walk, and they lead 2. Here come the Tigers at the bottom of the first. Well, Anibal Sanchez able to pitch through a little bit of trouble in the top of the first inning. Here come the Tigers now in the bottom of the first inning. Their lineup is presented tonight by Big Boy. Jackson, Berry, Cabrera, your top three, then Fielder, and then Bosch DHing. There's Andy Dirks. His face is back in the lineup tonight at right field. Avila, Santiago, Infante. Rounding out the Tigers starting nine, Justin Masterson is the starting pitcher for the Indians, presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet of Rochester.
And when the season began, Masterson was the ace of their staff and still is the ace of their staff. He has not had a lot of success against the Tigers in his career, but they haven't scored many runs for him. And the majority of the pitches that he will throw here today will be good, hard sinker balls at the bottom of the zone.
So Masterson getting ready to go to work, but before he can, we need some sunglasses apparently in the Cleveland outfield.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the Indians defensive alignment. It is Carrera in left, who was just recalled from the minors. Brantley is in center. Chu is in right. Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, Kochman in the infield, and the power hitting catcher Carlos Santana is the catcher.
Ezequiel Carrera needed some sunglasses. He was just called up today from their AAA team in Columbus. So he is good to go now. Johnny Damon was designated for assignment off this Cleveland team. Austin Jackson looks at a strike.
It is an absolute no-no if you're in the outfield and you lose a ball in the sun and you have no glasses.
The 0-1 is a ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
If you have the glasses and you don't see it, it's okay. But if you have no glasses.
That's outside, 2-1. Well, I'm surprised Carrera went out there without them, because you can tell the left field right now is still a sun field.
Maybe the first time that he played in this yard. But he's been up before. But fresh up from the minors today.
It's like the Tigers bullpen has given it to him a little bit too. He's been looking back and talking with him. 2-2 on Jackson. Masterson started the windup, then stopped. Austin on the trip, 344. He had 11 hits. And he stayed away from that one as it slides outside 3-2. In fact, when you combine the numbers of Quentin Berry, who's on deck, and Austin Jackson, they hit 323 on this road trip that was just completed. The rest of the team hit just 207, and that's a big part of the problem the Tigers had in this last road trip. They just couldn't get the offense working. Scored a few runs in Toronto. Again, the 3-2, and it's off the plate, ball 4. The leadoff man is on. Masterson has had his struggles in the first inning. 21% of his runs have come in the first. Now he has to deal with Quentin Berry. .281 this year against the Indians, and overall .292. Ball high and outside, 1-0. Masterson is coming off a start that was a little bit perplexing for Maniacta. He retired the first 11 consecutive Twins that he faced and was getting ground ball after ground ball. Then he walked Joe Mauer and gave up a 2-run homer to Willingham, and before it was over, he was charged with 10 runs.
Ouch.
It just, you talk about unraveling quickly. That's fouled straight back, 1-2.
That's kind of how things have been going for the Indians lately. They had a team meeting just a few days ago before their series began in Kansas City. Maniacta spoke. They also had a player who spoke in that meeting. But you still have to go out and get it done on the field. And Manny's hoping his club can rediscover what they had at the beginning of this season, because they're playing this year just like they did last year. Got off to a really good start and then kind of struggled right after the All-Star break.
That'll bring out Miguel Cabrera, who against Masterson in his career has been masterful. 421 with 6 RBIs.
Miguel will take that real hard sinker that Masterson features, and he won't try to pull it most of the time. He'll take it right back up the box. He'll take it the other way, and if he gets underneath it just the right way, he can hit it into the seats in right field.
And he shoots that one foul back to the screen, 0-1.
And really, that's the approach that you have to have against a power sinker baller. They want you to roll over to the left side of the infield if you're a right-handed batter, but very seldom does Miguel do that. He does on occasion, but he usually hits the ball the other way.
Cabrera checks in with 26 home runs. He's got Jackson at first now with 1 out. And how about the month of July that Miguel Cabrera just completed? Cabrera hit .344 last month, and he knocked in 23. Not to mention the home run numbers were up with 9. Jackson measuring the lead. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball back up the middle into center. There's another hit for Cabrera off Masterson.
Against a guy that throws hard and the ball is barreling in on you as a right-handed batter, you'll have to let the ball get deep. Miguel lets this ball get deep. He doesn't hit it right on the barrel of bats, but he is so strong that he's able to muscle the ball right back through the center of the diamond. If he gets it past Cabrera as well, the shortstop, who has great range, you know he muscled it right through the infield.
Walking a single now for the Tigers. That'll set up Prince Fielder, who stands in hitting .303. 5 RBIs this year against Indians pitching. And he takes ball 1 outside.
Justin Masterson is the first and only Jamaican-born player to pitch in the major leagues. There has been 3 other players, but he is the first pitcher in the major leagues from Jamaica.
The other players are pretty good players.
Yes, they were.
Devon White, Chili Davis, 2 of the 3. Rolando Rooms.
And that kid Rolando Rooms probably had more talent than both of those guys.
Really? You think so?
Oh, he was unbelievably talented. But he never realized those skills in the major leagues. But I saw him in the minors. He could do everything.
What position did he play?
Outfield.
Outfielder.
2-0. He's what you call a scout killer.
What does that mean?
I mean, guys that have really, really good talent. I mean, really good talent. But they never realize that talent.
This looks like a double play ball, and it is 4-6-3, and the inning is over. Let's go to the second. on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Dodge. Take advantage of the great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. And by Dunkin' Donuts Coffee. One taste and you will understand. We are still scoreless here at Comerica Park. Game 1 in this 3-game weekend series featuring the Tigers and the Indians. And Jose Lopez leading it off for the Tribe. It'll be Lopez, Kochman, and Hanahan here in the second. Anibal Sanchez gave up 2 singles and a walk, but picked up a double play as well, and he brings in a breaking ball away.
Last couple of days, the Cleveland Indians have made some moves. They parted ways with Derek Lowe yesterday, and they also parted ways today with the former Tiger, Johnny Damon.
Slow roller towards short. Santiago has it there. Damon, of course, a former Tiger, did not do too well this year in a Tribe uniform, just 222.
And I guess it makes sense where Cleveland is right now. And I don't know if they've conceded anything as far as the Racers are concerned in baseball, but you may as well take a look at some of the younger kids that you have on your roster. Derek Lowe, in his last 10 starts, his ERA was almost 9.
He was really good in the month of April. He got off to a great start.
His May wasn't that bad.
Ball 1 to Casey Kochman. Kochman is at 225 as we speak. Last year hit over 300 with the Tampa Bay Rays. One thing we do know, he will bring his glove every single night. Perhaps the best fielding first baseman going right now in the American League.
The Indians this year, his problems for the most part have been offensively. Their pitching has kind of sputtered the last 6-7 days, but for the most part, they just can't get 2 or 3 guys hot from an offensive standpoint at the same time.
Kochman hits this one in the air to shallow center. Jackson coming on. And there are 2 outs.
I mean, earlier it was Kipnis that was hot, and now it's Santana that was hot. Chu has had his different spurts with doing some stuff offensively, but it is hard to win games when your offense is producing like this.
Well, they've won just 6 of 20 post All-Star break. 227 average. The on-base percentage just a shade over 300. Here's Jack Hanahan. And he looks at ball 1.
They do not have one hitter that is hitting 300.
Maniacta's loaded his lineup with lefties. In fact, Jose Lopez, the only righty in the lineup tonight. Here's the 1-0. Chopped foul.
That is one of the reasons why the Indians have had success this year against Detroit. There have been many days where the entire batting order have been left-handed batters, and they've just outplayed Detroit this year. But Sanchez, we talked about his numbers. He holds left-handers to a .231 batting average.
Here's the 1-1. Lifted to center field, hit pretty well. Jackson is on the move, and that is that. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Sanchez. When we get to the bottom of the second, Andy Dirks will bat second. Another fine crowd in attendance tonight. Look at those two young Tiger fans having a good time. And hopefully the Tigers offense can do something here to make them cheer in the second as Masterson goes back to work. And the first pitch is inside to Brennan Bosch. Bosch, then Dirks, and then Avila facing the right-hander Masterson. Picked himself up a double play ball back in the first to work out of some trouble. Bosch hits a ground ball right to third. Diving play. Hanahan not in time. Right down that third base line, Hanahan had to backtrack and almost made a great play.
He did make a great play. Yeah, Bosch just runs too well for Hanahan to complete the play. Couple of steps and a dive, and he basically reached behind him to flag this ball down. He alertly and quickly gets to his feet and fires a strike across the diamond to Kochman. But Bosch runs well for a big guy, and he does get a few infield singles. But what an angle taken there by Hanahan. Fine, fine play.
Second straight inning, the Tigers have gotten the leadoff man on. And disappointed he couldn't complete it, but not much more he could have done. So Andy Dirks is back in the Tigers lineup for the first time since May the 30th, and he was hitting .328 when he went down with the Achilles injury. And even Jim Leyland admitted before the game today he had no clue it was going to take that long to get him back on the field. He loops this one toward left. Straight at Carrera, and Dirks is out. By the way, if you were wondering, this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Also getting a lot of pressure, Rob, to bring back some of the words to describe high definition.
Are you?
I am. So, you know, occasionally we may drop one in the rest of the year, here and there.
I haven't gotten any of those. I noticed how they threw that to the college graduates.
Here is Alex Avila. Bosch big lead at first base.
Because all I gave was all I had.
There's a slicing line drive to left. Carrera, look out! It's going to get by him and go all the way to the wall. Bosch may score. They're going to try and get him home. Here comes the relay to the plate. He is safe. Ball gets away from Santana, and the runner will get the third. 1-0 Tigers.
If you weren't with us earlier, Carrera, who was in left field, who was just called up today, has the glasses on, but the ball was hit at him so quickly he did not get the glasses down, and it was right in the sunlight. And what a helpless feeling that is for an outfield. The ball gets by him, and Gene Lamont very, very aggressive over at third base, sent Brennan Bosch home. A good throw would have had him, but sometimes you take the gamble, and the gamble paid off. Also good slide there by Brennan. Ball actually hit him in the chest, didn't it?
I didn't notice that. So it's 1-0 Tigers. That ball is hit to third, right at Hanahan. And Santiago is out with the runner holding.
That's why some outfielders don't use this type of glasses that Carrera uses. Very simple. This is old school glasses right here. The kind that you literally have to flip down. Players nowadays prefer to already have the glasses on, and that ball was hit so sharply at him, and you're trying to make a play, you're trying to get to a spot. The one thing that he failed to do was tap the hat to get the glasses to come down.
I guess my question is, if you're going to bring him out there, why wouldn't you just have him down to begin with?
Well, apparently he did not like the ones initially that the bat boy sent out to him, which were glasses that weren't the flip down model. We're swinging early today.
Yes, we are. And Hanahan makes another play, and that is that. However, the Tigers get a run on a wacky-looking play in left. And you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Stop by Arby's today and try the Market Fresh Turkey Asiago sandwich only at Arby's. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Another huge crowd in attendance here tonight. Tiger baseball back home after a long road trip. And they lead 1-0 as Carrera leads it off.
Friday night is the place to be. And right here at Comerica Park, downtown Detroit.
Fireworks after the game tonight as you look at Carrera's AAA numbers. Was called up today with Johnny Damon being designated.
Last 10 days he was sizzling hot in AAA. And that's the reason why he was called up. They're trying to find any kind of offense at all right now.
Pull down the right field line, and they have found some. That ball is in. A base hit. It gets by Bosch. Carrera will go to second, and he is in standing up. Or Dirks, rather. And he is in standing up. So Carrera reaches. Dirks tried to backhand that ball, and it caromed off his glove.
Pretty good swing here by Carrera. The ball is down, and most left-handers love the ball down. Dirks gets over and mishandles it. And Carrera, with his speed, able to get to second.
That'll be the second Indians hit. So just like that, the tying run is in scoring position, and that'll bring up Kipnis, the top of the order. Kipnis had a single but did not score back in the first. Batting .268. In the dirt, but Avila able to stop it. Single E9 was the scoring on that play, so give Carrera a base hit, charge Dirks with an error.
That's a tough error with the speed of the kid on second base. I think he was probably going to second base anyway.
Agree. I think he had himself a double, but the ball was misplayed, so I can see the call, but I think you're right. I think he probably gets there anyway.
A left-handed throwing outfielder running to his left, backhanding a ball. It was going to be very difficult for Dirks to stop on a dime and throw the kid out at second base. Very difficult.
Well, by the way, the other play that Carrera had trouble with last half inning was ruled a double for Avila and RBI, and an error on the play as well.
They gave that to the shortstop, I believe.
They did.
Cabrera.
On the relay throw. Double RBI E6. 1-2 on Jason Kipnis. Swing and a miss. He left the strike zone, and down he goes.
Good pitch there by Sanchez. I was talking to Sanchez before he made his first start, and this was in Cleveland before he took his first start in Toronto, and he said when he was very young in the Boston Red Sox organization, he threw 98 miles an hour. He was in the minor leagues, of course, but he said he could only get through 4 innings, and he was just gassed after 4 innings every single start. Pedro Martinez was also pitching for the Boston Red Sox at that time, and he said he started to watch Pedro, who threw hard when he was young too, and how Pedro would change speeds and add, subtract. He came up with a really good changeup, and he started to learn how to do that in the minor leagues, and it really helped him to evolve into a pretty good big league pitcher. Not a thrower, but a good pitcher. Most kids don't learn how to pitch until they get to the major leagues for the most part.
Cabrera hits a ground ball to first. It's scooped up there by Prince. Will advance the runner, but there are 2 gone now. While we have a moment, back to the studio we go. Time for a game break with Mickey York. All right, Mick, here it is 1-0 in favor of Detroit, and an RBI double by Alex Avila.
Sanchez also told me another pitcher that he watched quite a bit when he was younger was Greg Maddux, and how Greg would use the strike zone, change eye levels, change speeds.
As they say, you can learn from watching, and if you're going to watch Pedro Martinez and Greg Maddux, you should learn a thing or two.
2 of the best.
Driven to center field and a base hit. That'll score a run. 2-out single for Chu ties the game. And for Shin-Soo, it's his 40th RBI of the year. Chu's name came up quite a bit heading up to the trading deadline, but a deal was not made. He is still in a Cleveland uniform. He's going to bring up Santana.
It would have been hard to deal Chu, especially the way that your offense is struggling, and you're not necessarily out of this thing.
Now, the Indians, as you mentioned, played so well in the first half, but it's not like their slow start has totally taken them out of any contention. They are 7.5 out in terms of the Central Division. There's a bouncing ball hit to the right side. Omar will throw him out. Inning over. Indians tie it up. We go to the bottom of the third.
At the Fox Sports Detroit Brush Fire Grill. The ballpark is behind me, and I've taken over our very own Twitter feed. So if you want to join the conversation for the game, Mario and Rod are in on it. I am as well. That's at Fox Sports DET. And there's been a lot of buzz, Mario and Rod. The thing a lot of people are talking about right now is, of course, Andy Dirks being reinstated from the DL. This is one of our tweets, just a sampling of what we've seen so far. And this is from NBA Guy 2011. With Dirks back, they should be a lot better. Hope he helps the team. I think everybody's hoping that right now. But Mario and Rod, you know, with Dirks coming back up, that means they had to make room. Don Kelly being designated for assignment. And I have to say, I was in the clubhouse today. It's always sad when it's a really nice clubhouse guy that happens to, but he was very gracious. And I think right now everybody's looking forward and kind of happy about all the Dirks, buzz that's going on. What do you guys think? Do you think Dirks will be as effective as he was before he went on the DL?
Well, I would think he would be, Shannon. I don't think there's any doubt, Rod. This guy can hit. I mean, he was hitting .328 before he went down with the injury. And I think Andy does bring you another potent left-handed bat. Unfortunately for Don Kelly, he had to be designated for assignment. But you've got to make room, and I think Jim Leland's excited about having him back.
I talked about Dirks and Tigers Live today and talked about the fact that he stays within himself. You never see him over swinging. Whether he's ahead in the count or behind in the count, runners in scoring position or not, he takes that same short, quick, compact swing, and that's one of the reasons why he had such a great spring training and carried it over to the regular season. So I see no reason why Andy Dirks can't really contribute to the team's success second half of the season.
It's down the right field line and foul back out of play.
And as far as Don Kelly is concerned, it was very difficult to say goodbye to him today. As a matter of fact, I can only stand there for just a few words. I know Don and Kelly will show up somewhere in a big league uniform. One, because he's a good player, and two, tremendous character guy.
And you know what, Rod, you know how you're mentioning Andy Dirks staying within himself. That's his personality. He's a very even-keel guy. When all the injury stuff was going on, he was just trying to get better, trying to get stronger, not too worried about it, never seemed very flustered. So I know he's happy to be back with the team, but he never seemed like he thought it was going to be a desperate time whatsoever. And I just have to say, one of the other favorite tweets I've seen so far, do you remember, I think it's called A Different World, Dwayne Wayne, with those shades that popped up? They were talking about Carrera out there in the outfield, some of our Twitter followers. I thought that was pretty funny. I know you're at home watching, you guys. If you want to join into this Twitter conversation at Fox Sports DET, I'll be monitoring all night long. And Mario and Rod, we're having a good time with this. So we want people to participate because we're going to check in with you in a little bit and see what people are talking about.
All right, Shannon, thanks. We look forward to it. Always good to get the listeners involved and viewers involved. The walk to Jackson gives the Tigers now the leadoff man on. And Quentin Berry cues one back out of play down the left field line.
Second consecutive at bat that Quentin has come to the plate after a Jackson walk with nobody out and not attempted to bunt. Of course, the sacrifice bunt comes from Jim Leyland. But if Q decides to bunt for a base hit, that's on him.
Third straight frame, the Tigers have gotten the leadoff man on. Berry struck out in the first. There goes the runner. Popped in the air, shallow left field, looks like trouble. It's going to fall, base hit. That'll put two aboard for the Tigers. Didn't go all that far, but it went far enough.
This is one of the advantages of having speed. Take a look and see where Hanahan is playing here. He's even going to come in a couple more steps here before the pitch is thrown. Had he been 4 or 5 steps deeper when this ball is popped up off the bat of Quentin Berry, there's no doubt he makes this play, but that's what speed will do. Look at where this ball bounces. Only a few feet from him. If he's playing his regular position, not worried about the bunt, he could make that play. So speed just kind of changes the total game sometimes for certain teams.
Yeah, it changes the way, I guess, you're defended, which certainly comes into play in a lot of different aspects. And you saw it right there. Instead of an out, now the Tigers have something going for Miguel Cabrera.
This much we do know. He's not bunting.
You don't think so?
Negative.
No chance at all.
Never. Have you ever seen him bunt?
Ever. Never.
I haven't seen him bunt since he put on a uniform.
Not even in BP.
I wouldn't bunt either. He's in scoring position right now as we speak while he's standing in that batter's box.
Had a single his first time up. And he lines that one foul.
We talked about the success that he has against Masterson. Take a look at this swing right here. This is one reason why he has success. He is trying to hit the ball to right field. Letting the ball get deep in the strike zone, trying to hit it between first and second.
Two on, nobody out. Cabrera cuts and misses.
Good pitch there by Masterson.
Hamilton has taken over the lead in RBIs. That'll be a race down the stretch that's going to be fun to watch. Those two guys should battle it out.
And you were talking about Cabrera and the July that he had for the Tigers. It took that kid out west, Mike Trout, to take Player of the Month award away from Miggy with that month that he had in July.
Rolled foul.
Or else Miguel would have been lead Player of the Month in the American League.
I think I saw a stat that said that Mike Trout has scored 81 runs in 81 games.
What?
That's just, think about that for a while.
It's ridiculous, really.
1-2 on Miguel Cabrera.
We get to see those Angels quite a bit and down the stretch.
One more series here and a series remaining in Anaheim as well. Masterson ready with the 1-2. In the air, center field. Brantley coming in. And the runners hold, so Masterson got him that time. One gone now, Prince Fielder.
With this combination of speed on the base paths, one would think that Jackson and Berry could steal third and steal second base, but the problem that you have there is if they do run, and that gives the open base, and they might just pitch around Prince Field. They might just pitch around it. I'm not saying they will, but they've got the open base to do so if they would want to do that and play for a double play with Bosch in the on-deck circle.
Which goes back to the point we've made several times this year, how important it is for somebody to back up Prince in the lineup. It's fouled back out of play. I mean, regardless of who you put behind Fielder, it's not totally going to make managers decide, well, we're not going to pitch to him. I mean, they're still probably going to do that every now and then. But if you make them think, and Bosch is behind him again tonight. certainly makes it tougher.
Second consecutive game that Bosch has batted behind the fielder. He got a big base hit to get the team on the board in Boston a couple days ago.
That's drilled in the air to right center field. That ball is up, and that ball is off the top of the wall. 2 runs will score. Fielder will cruise into second. He nearly hit it out, and he'll take a 2-run double.
Prince stands right on top of the plate. His bat is not very long. It's only 33.5 inches long, and Masterson tries to get a fastball inside on him, and Prince just unloads on him. For a guy that is as big and strong and physical as he is, his bat is lightning quick.
Missed it by a couple of feet. His 23rd double of the year. RBIs 74 and 75 on the year. A big swing by Bosch. 3 runs on 5 Tigers hits tonight. Bosch had an infield single and scored a run back in the second. A little bit of support now for Anibal Sanchez. Confab on the hill as Santana walks out there to have a chat with Masterson. So we talked at the top about how the Tigers' middle of the lineup has continued to get it done. Fielder chips in with a couple of RBIs, and of course it all started with Jackson reaching. Breaking ball is in for a strike on Bosch, and the count goes 0-2. Bosch had only 5 hits on the recent road trip, on the heels of a stretch in which he really broke out offensively. 45 RBIs for the season for Bosch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Back-to-back breaking balls. 2 gone.
Join Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers Foundation for Keeping Kids in the Game, a benefit event at Comerica Park on Monday, August 20th. Enjoy exclusive clubhouse and field access, private fireworks show, strolling dinner, drinks, and cigars in the Tiger Club. How about that? Cigars in the Tigers Club. Call 313-313-471-2113. How about that, Miguel?
I'm intrigued by the strolling dinner. There's a ball inside to Dirks. Andy flied out his first time up. Tigers have gotten a couple of runs here in the third, and they've broken the 1-1 tie. They lead 3-1. That gets away from Santana to the backstop. It goes, and Prince will walk to third base.
It's a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that bounces, and usually catchers don't get over and block fastballs in the dirt, but he's going to get a pass ball for that.
Outside, 3-0 on Dirks. Andy down in the minor leagues in his rehab stint with Toledo. Hit a couple of home runs and knocked in 5 in 10 games. Jim Leland was told, well, he's running at full speed, he's good to go, and so up he came and straight into the Tiger lineup. He's got himself a walk. Second walk in the inning.
Ezekiel Carrera just called up from the minor leagues, had a pair of glasses on early. He did not like the glasses that he had on, so he went out and got the old school shades, the kind you have to flip down yourself. And in the second inning, Avila hit a ball right at him, and it got right in the sun. He never put the glasses down. As a result of that, the Tigers scored their first run of the game. Brennan Bosch coming all the way around from first to score.
They're down now. It may not go up the rest of the night.
Those are the best glasses, though, right there. Those are the dark ones. I mean, those are the ones that you needed when you're playing down in Florida in spring training, the ones that you need in Arizona. in spring training. Those are really, really dark.
Well, here comes Sevilla. He's the one that hit that ball out there to left field back in the second. And now Alex 4 for his last 11. First and third with 2 outs. And a swing and a miss.
You know, the whole idea of those glasses that Carrera has on right now is that you put them up real close to your hat. And then once the ball is hitting to the sun, all you have to do is tap the bill of your cap. You don't tap the glasses, you tap the bill of your cap, and then those glasses just come down.
Never knew that. There's a strike called, make it 0-2. I will submit, though, that if you're going out there with the purpose of perhaps catching a ball in the sunlight, why not just wear the ones that are just going to be down all the time?
Don't know.
Is there a comfort factor to the other ones?
What, with the other ones?
The flip downs.
Probably for him. He probably had those other ones on at the beginning of the game, as we showed you. And he was looking up into that sun and says, I can't see.
Yeah.
So he discarded those for those that he has on right now. And you can tell he's thinking about that sun. He's hoping that ball does not get hit to him. I've been there. Don't hit it to me, please.
You've actually been out there when you have said, please don't hit it.
Don't hit it my way.
The 1-2 swung out and missed. Well, he's got nothing to worry about for another inning at least. Third strikeout for Masterson. However, the Tigers get 2 runs. Prince nearly hit one out. 2-run double. Puts the Tigers in the lead. Ballpark, it's Fiesta Tigres weekend. They kicked it off today with a luncheon honoring Carlos Guillen, who had really had some fine seasons here in Detroit, and it was good to see Carlos again. Tomorrow he'll be honored in a pregame ceremony, which you can see on Tigers Live, and we'll even have him in the booth tomorrow night, Rod.
They don't bring you back unless you were a first-class citizen, and regardless of how well you did on the field, sometimes those guys don't get honored for an entire weekend, but that's exactly what the Tigers will do here for the next couple of days with Carlos Guillen, who provided us with a lot of big moments when he wore the Tigers uniform.
First thing I'm going to ask him tomorrow night was that home run against Jared Weaver. Last year with Verlander and Weaver on the hill, one of the great moments of that season.
That was one of the best games of the year last year in all of baseball.
Michael Brantley leading it off here in the 4th inning. Tigers have taken the lead 3-1. Hannibal Sanchez will face Brantley, Lopez, and Kochman. But outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Brantley having a breakout season, hitting .287. He's driven in 47. Doesn't hit for power. That's not his game. But boy, has he made a lot of outstanding plays in center field this year. He has really gotten it done for the Indians.
Well, he doesn't strike out much either. In fact, he is the second toughest hitter in the American League to strike out. Almost 11 at-bats per strikeout for Brantley. Here's the 2-2. Bounced in, 3-2. Ichiro is the toughest guy in the American League to strike out. Based on numbers, Ichiro strikes out once every 11 at-bats or so.
How about the Seattle Mariners reeling off 7 in a row after they dealt Ichiro to the New York Yankees?
What does that tell you? Anything?
Not really. Ichiro, Hall of Fame player.
And now Brantley will step out. Brantley 47 driven in this year. Here's the 3-2. He went around. Guess what? He struck out. One gone.
Fiesta Tigres is tomorrow when the Tigers battle the Indians at 7:05. Enjoy live music and a special pregame ceremony honoring Carlos Guillen. Call 313-471-2255 or visit Tigers.com. They had a luncheon for him today, and they're honoring him again tomorrow. How about that?
Looking forward to it, or mañana, as we should say.
Carlito, as his teammates used to call him.
Jose Lopez, the batter. He bounced out his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lopez. Being used as the DH tonight for Manny Acta. Sanchez had a 1-2-3 second, gave up a run in the third, and now pitching here in the fourth. And that is roped foul down the third baseline. Well, your thoughts on Sanchez? You saw him pitch in Toronto and gave up a few runs, but Jim Leland after that game said, you know, I wish I would have taken him out an inning earlier, which of course hindsight is always 20/20, but he said he's going to be a good pitcher for the Tigers.
He's made better choices today. Also, Avila catching him for the second time.
Little tapper, slowly back up the middle. And Infante throws him out.
When the team was in Toronto before he made his first start as a Tiger, Avila caught him in the bullpen. That was the first time that Avila had ever really seen Sanchez, first time he's ever caught him. And Sanchez could tell you what his game plan is, but until you catch a guy to see the action on his pitches, do you know what pitches to call in certain situations? I think that Toronto game was more of a feeling out period for not only Avila, but also Sanchez, and Sanchez making a start for, you know, his new team, trying to make a nice impression. I think he looks settled in here today.
We have seen how difficult it can be for pitchers that are acquired at the trading deadline to make that first start in their new uniform. Ryan Dempster last night was tattooed by the Angels, although the Rangers won that game. He was really roughed up.
Well, you know what you were brought there to do, and that adds pressure in itself.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hannibal is 28 years old. Struck out over 200 batters last year.
Doesn't walk many either.
Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Sanchez was involved in that huge deal early in his career. From Boston to the Marlins, along with Hanley Ramirez and the Josh Beckett trade back in 2005. That is roped into right field. Base hit out of the reach of Omar Infante.
Let's introduce you to the arsenal of Mr. Sanchez. Obviously, he's got a fastball. He's got a 4-seam fastball, and he's got a 2-seam fastball. He'll get up to 95 miles an hour with that pitch. He also has a real nice slider. He'll throw it to left-handers and right-handers. He's got some nice action, nice depth with that pitch. Here's his signature pitch. He'll throw it to righties and left-handers, and with this pitch alone, dominates left-handed batters. And, of course, he's got a curveball, too. Comes right off the table, right when it gets in the hitting zone.
So he will face Hanahan now, and there goes the bat.
And there's that change piece right on cue. What a pitch.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2, same result.
He can go a couple of different ways right now against Hanahan. He can simply climb the ladder with a plus fastball, about 93, 94, might get a swing and miss. Or he can simply go right back to the bottom of the zone since Hanahan has not looked all that comfortable on the previous 2 pitches. They're going slider down and in.
Missed with it, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hanahan just 9 for his last 50.
This much we do know, this weather today, 90 degrees with the humidity, is not bothering Sanchez at all. He pitched down in Miami all of his big league career. This is a cool day down in Miami in the summertime.
Absolutely. And he is from Maracay, Venezuela as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up and in. The count evens now 2-2. Hanahan fly to center field, his first at bat. Ezekiel Carrera waiting in the on deck circle. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball to first, right at Prince, right at the bag, and that is that for Cleveland. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Tigers lead 3-1.
Who is the hitting coach now for the Cleveland Indians, and he also held that same job here with the Tigers when Alan Trammell was a manager. But what you didn't know about Bruce Fields is that he played on a championship team back in 1977, the Lansing Everett basketball team. You see Irving Magic Johnson up top there, but down in that left corner there is Bruce Fields, who played with Magic in high school. And I talked to Bruce about how that was last night. They honored that club, and he said it was about 2,000 people there, and he said it was a really enjoyable night.
So Bruce had a full beard in high school, apparently.
I guess so. He had afro too. Big fro.
Here is Santiago leading it off, and he takes strike 2.
How about that, playing on the same high school team
with Irvin?
With Irvin.
Amazing. That must have been some kind of experience. Congratulations to that 77 team in the Lansing Hall of Fame.
Bruce is a pretty good basketball player, too.
And by the way, his son Daniel was elevated to Double-A yesterday, wasn't he?
He sure was.
In the Tigers organization.
Bruce also played baseball, of course, in high school. And he played for Jake Boss Sr. And, of course, Jake Boss Jr. is now the head baseball coach at Michigan State.
1-2, the count on Santiago. Infante will follow, and then Austin Jackson. Another foul ball. 1-2. The count stays. Tigers got one in the second. They added two more in the third on a two-run double by Prince Fielder.
There are quite a few people in the game that are kind of surprised that Bruce really hasn't gotten more managerial opportunities. He was a really good manager when he was managing Toledo Mud Hens, winning championships for the Mud Hens, but really hasn't gotten many interviews to be a big league manager, and many thought that was where he would end up at.
He was a great minor league hitter as well, won some batting titles, or at least one.
Well-rounded.
Ball in, and now the count goes 3-2 on Santiago. We're in the bottom of the fourth here at Comerica. Game one in this three-game weekend set. And the 3-2. Outside, he lost him. So Masterson was ahead in the count. Leadoff man out for the fourth straight inning now for Detroit. Well, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Just to finish that thought on Bruce and their championship team, I was asking him today, I said, did you speak last night? He says, no, they did not want to hear from me. They only wanted to hear from Magic.
Well, when you're in a room with Magic, that's what's going to happen. Magic's sister as well was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a basketball player.
Now Magic is part of that ownership group out in Los Angeles who has made a number of really bold moves to bolster their team for the second half run.
There's a ball low, and now Santana again will go out to the mound. 2-0 on Infante. 4 walks for Masterson. 3 of them have led off an inning, so that's not a good precedent to set.
I don't know what Jim is thinking here, but obviously Masterson throws lots of ground balls. We've well documented that. He has a power sinker, and I mean power sinker, and most guys hit the ball on the ground. And so if you're Jim and you want to stay out of a double play, you could put Santiago in motion and you could force Infante into making some contact, and that might keep you out of the double play. And you might even find a seam in the infield somewhere.
Way outside. Now the count goes 3-0. And already for Masterson now 6 3-ball counts. He has gotten a double play. That was off the bat of Fielder in the first. And a strike called as Infante was headed to first base. 3-1 on Omar, who grounded out back in the second. Still trying to get it going with the Tigers offensively. 5 hits on the road trip. Runner goes, and a bouncing ball to third. Hanahan has only one play. 1 out, move a runner to second base. That'll bring up Austin Jackson. It also brings us to the Mazda scouting report tonight. And you see the difference in numbers through August 2nd in 2011 and 2012.
Look at the strikeouts. 120 at this point last year, just 81 this year. And that 81, as he continues to mature in 2013, 2014, those numbers are going to continue to go down. And that means the other offensive numbers are going to go up because there's going to be much more contact.
Jackson looks at a strike. I was talking to Austin a couple of days ago in Boston on whether or not he thinks he could or should hit lower in the lineup. And he said, well, you know, I really fit in nicely now in the leadoff spot. But he said, who knows what the future will bring. And our own Craig Monroe on Tigers Live feels that he'd be a good 5-hole hitter for the Tigers. But Jackson, as you mentioned, Ryan, and he continues to, I guess, become a better big league hitter. Although he's done a nice job in the leadoff spot, would seemingly fit in a few other spots in the lineup. The 0-2.
Not that I disagree with what Craig has said there, but we talked about their center fielder, Michael Brantley, and the fact that he was hitting just above 200 when they put him in that number 4 spot. Sometimes you take a leadoff hitter and then you put him down in an RBI spot, and they just kind of change the way that they play the game, and they're just not as successful as they were when they were leading off. Jackson has finally gotten comfortable leading off.
And that's what he said in Boston. He said, I just feel really good about where I am in the lineup right now. Quentin Berry is waiting on deck. Jackson has a chance to drive in a run here with one out. Tigers lead 3-1. We're in the fourth. A couple of walks tonight for Austin. Fouls that one back.
And if you think about it, once you get through the order the first time, you're not really the leadoff hitter anymore.
No, that's true. Jim Leyland pondering his lineup today with the addition of Dirks. And of course, the addition of Dirks to the lineup meant that Don Kelly had to be designated for assignment. And really beyond that, I think the emergence of Quentin Berry made Jim and the rest of the Tigers decide that, you know, Berry's going to be here the rest of the year. And so Donnie Kelly was designated. There is strike 3 on the outside corner. Second out of the inning. What does Mr. Foxtrack say about this call? Just a little bit outside, but enough of the plate, according to Andy Fletcher. .70 pitches thrown by Justin Masterson. Here's Berry, a single and a strikeout. Hanahan creeping in at third on the cut of the grass now. And a slicing line drive to left center, base hit. That'll get a run in. All the way to the warning track. Berry is on his way to second. He'll pull in there. Tigers get another run and a clutch 2-out knock by Quentin Berry.
Well, that's the main reason why they had to part with Don Kelly today. And you know that was very, very difficult for Jim Leyland to do. But Quentin Berry, since coming up from Toledo, has given the entire team an infusion of energy, and his bat with runners in scoring position has been absolutely stellar. And the Tigers in that last homestand, when they won 6 games and lost 1 game, and they played against some really good teams, they were tremendous, and with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
They'll keep the inning going for Cabrera, who takes one way wide, 1-0. Quentin gets his 24th RBI. He has 2 hits in this game. And again, Masterson stays away. 2-0. Cabrera flied out back in the 30s. 1 for 2 in this game. Had a single in the first. Should Miguel reach? Fielder would be next. Ground ball left side. Base hit. It'll get through. Here comes Berry trying to score. Carrera's throw is a poor one. It's cut off. And give Cabrera his second hit and an RBI.
Miguel Cabrera is simply an RBI machine. That's a sinker ball that's up that he gets out in front of. He hits it between third and short. And as far as Gene Lamont, the third base coach, is concerned, when Quentin Berry is on second base, no matter where the ball is hit, how hard it's hit, he's going to score.
Yeah, and who the outfielder is doesn't seem to matter either. 88th RBI of the year for Miguel. Tigers get another couple of runs here in the fourth, and Prince looks at ball 1. 7 hits now for the Tigers. 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Fielder knocked in 2 in his last at bat, and he watches one sail outside. So for Masterson now, in your last start, you gave up 10 runs, and you've given up 5 more here, and we're not through the fourth. Came in with an ERA of 4.47. Driven deep to right field, way back. See you later. Way out of here. A 2-run shot for the Prince. He's not messing around tonight. That's 4 RBIs.
It's a 91-mile-per-hour fastball that Masterson wanted inside, but he wanted to disguise it to Prince like the ball was going to be way inside and catch the inside corner, and he did none of that. And Prince, he got all of that one.
That pink sign right there says, "Hit it here, Prince," and he almost literally hit it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Now they are celebrating on the bench tonight. There it is. Now that's funny. Fielder has just hit his 18th of the year. There's a ground ball, base hit right field for Bosch. His second hit tonight. Tigers pouring it on now. It'll bring up Andy Dirks, the 8th man to bat in this inning. RBI double by Berry, RBI single Cabrera, 2-run homer Fielder. Dirks walking a fly ball. And a ground ball back up the middle into center field, base hit. And the hits just keep on coming.
That is 5 straight hits against Justin Masterson after 2 are out.
So Dirks will join the hit parade. The starting pitching continues to struggle for the Indians. There is some activity in their bullpen now. Jeremy Accardo is starting to warm up. Here you go. Here's some of the numbers for their starting rotation in the last 6. An ERA just under 12. Derek Lowe, of course, was designated for assignment. But the numbers have been ugly for the Cleveland starting staff. Tigers pouring it on tonight. They've had a big 4th inning. We'll bring up Alex Avila. 7-1 Tigers. They now have 10 hits in this ball game. And Avila skies one in the air. Center field for Brantley, who's still waiting. And that is that. They send 9 men to the plate in the middle of the lineup, doing it again. Miguel Cabrera, RBI single. Fielder, 2-run bomb.
monitoring and corresponding on the @Fox Sports DET Twitter feed right now. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Of course, it's always exciting to read about the offensive success that the Tigers are having, and of course reading all the stuff about Cabrera's home run. But I want to talk a little bit about Anibal Sanchez and his second start as a Tiger, which is tonight. Here's something that people have been talking about a little bit. You'll see from our friend here. Anibal Sanchez looking more comfortable in his second start with the Tigers. It's been promising. I know Mario and Rod, that first outing in Toronto, people were a little concerned, but Jim Leyland did say today he wasn't worried. He might have left him in one inning too long. But what do you think about what you've seen from Sanchez so far through 4 innings?
Well, he wasn't worried because he had a really good ERA career in the National League. And I think, Rod, you touched on a key point. I mean, you come to a new ball club and new surroundings, you make that first start, it carries another layer of pressure with it.
He's also pitching very comfortable today. He's really only made the one mistake today, and that was a 92-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle where Chu, their right fielder, drove in the only run that they've scored today. He's also pitching today in a much more comfortable ballpark. Toronto is a really good hitter's park, and he gave up 3 home runs in Toronto. So I think his stuff works very well here at Comerica Park.
All right, guys, one more thing I have to say, because anytime you have a catchphrase or a call, and you know, Rod, my favorite is, I see you. You know, that's one of my favorite, but I like this one. You might have to add this one. Nobody got hit by that Prince missile. I thought that was kind of clever.
That's pretty cool.
That was one of the tweets we've been getting in, and people like to send their little catchphrases. So
I see you, Shannon.
All right, I see you too, Rod. I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later.
Right,
actually, I'm seeing Prince right there.
Here's Kipnis. Tigers lead it 7-1. As Sanchez goes back to work, he struck out Carrera, and now he's facing Kipnis. Single and a strikeout. Tigers 7 runs, 10 hits, a run on 5 hits for Cleveland. And that's fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tigers are playing tonight like they were tired of getting beat up this season by the Tribe. In the 9 games this team has played against Cleveland this year, Cleveland has won 7 of those.
Still can't put my finger on it, because pound for pound, you look at these lineups and we even look at the rotations, and it shouldn't be that lopsided. But it has been. It's turned around tonight, though. It's a foul back out of play. 2-2 on Kipnis.
Most of the games are very close games, and down the stretch, Manny Active would put on a squeeze, or he would hit and run, or he had guys stealing third base. They just played a really good energy game against Detroit. Down the stretch, and the back end of their bullpen is outstanding. One of the best back ends in the game.
It's down the right field line. Dirks will get over there to cut it off. Kipnis going to second. A throw, not in time.
Well, that's the same exact play earlier where Andy didn't handle the ball cleanly when Carrera was able to get to second base. When he got a hit, Andy was given an error on the play, but it's still the same thing. Carrera would have made it safely too, just like Kipnis did here. Same identical play.
Just ahead of the tag by Santiago. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. High fly ball, right center field. Jackson cruising over to the gap, and the runner will tag and move up. 2 gone now. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card here this evening. Tigers pitching this season has rolled up a ton of strikeouts. In fact, they've had 31 games this year with 10 or more, which is the most by a Tiger since 1918. That's pretty impressive. So with 2 outs, here is Shin-Soo Choo. Strike 1. To get back to that point you were making, Rod, about these all being close games tonight is kind of odd, but of the first 9 in the season series, only 1 of them was not decided by 2 runs or less. So when these 2 teams have gotten together, it has been tight.
And then Manny Active would turn it over to Smith, his 7th inning guy, and Vinny Pastano, his 8th inning guy, and then Chris Perez would finish Detroit off.
Chu has the count of 1-1. Foul out straight back. 1-2 the count on Shinsu. Singled their only run in back in the third. They tied the game at 1 at that point. So they have Carlos Santana waiting on deck. Ground ball to second. A couple of steps to his right. Infante throws him out. Inning over. No runs. One left. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Seven to 1 is our score. And we have a new pitcher now for the Cleveland Indians in our wall-side windows pitching change. It is a veteran. His name is Jeremy Accardo.
Jeremy is pitching in his 26th game this year. Comes in with an ERA just a shade over 4. 28 strikeouts in 33 in a third inning. He's given up 3 big flies this year.
He's been in the big leagues since 2005 when he broke in with San Francisco. He's also pitched most recently with Toronto and Baltimore. So Accardo will take over now in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Santiago, Infante, and then Jackson. Masterson bounced out of the game after 4 innings in this one, charged with 7 runs. Well, the Tigers got a leadoff walk from Santiago in the 4th inning. He'll lead things off here in the 5th. And he takes strike 1 from Accardo. 0 for 1 with Ramon. Picking up that walk in the 4th, and the Tigers have gotten a leadoff man on 4 straight. That's sky to right field. Chu going over to make the catch. 1 gone. Now Infante. Omar has hit the ball on the ground twice to the third baseman Hanahan tonight. 0 for 2. Slice toward right field and back out of play. Omar sits safely in his last 3. Accardo was born in Mesa, Arizona, lives in Gilbert, Arizona. There's another ball hit to third. This time it'll get through. Down the line it goes. Omar headed to second, maybe beyond. He's going to try for 3. And Infante slides in safely. It got all the way to the left field corner.
Real good swing there by Infante, and hits a missile right past Hanahan, and Carrera in left field is having a few issues out there this evening. They usually do not see triples down in the left field corner.
It apparently took him forever to get there. Omar never stopped running. Infield in now for the Indians. The Tigers have 11 hits. Jackson has been on base twice. A couple of walks. Swing and a miss. It is good to see the Tigers roll up 11 hits to this point, considering they batted .232 on the entire road trip.
It's kind of a continuation of what they did that final game in Boston. They got quite a few knocks that night. But overall, the entire road trip, with the exception of that final night in Boston, the offense did not show up.
Here's the 1-2. Tap foul. Well, the Tigers in the first 9 against this Indians team were hitting .218 with runners in scoring position. That's it. Tonight they're 3 for 11. And Jackson a chance to do more damage. And the 1-2. Ground ball to short. Right there is Cabrera with the infield drawn in. Run will not score. Hit it hard, but right at him. 2 gone. Time now for the AT&T trivia question tonight. And here it is. What duo in 1994 was the last pair of Tiger teammates to hit back-to-back home runs 3 times in a season? Cabrera and Prince have done it 3 times. There's a ball that, no, it's a strike in the outside corner. 0-1. Quentin Berry, 2 out of 3, having himself another fine night. Single double. RBI, 2 runs scored. When Quentin was called up, Rod, what were your expectations for what he could give the ball club as compared to what he actually has?
Didn't know much about him other than what I saw him do in spring training, and I saw him run. I knew he would add that element, and he has added that. I did not know that he would provide what he has provided with the bat, runners in scoring position, some of the other things that he have done. The other guys have kind of feeded off of Quentin as well. Because when he first got here, everybody was going first to third. Guys were playing with much more energy, and sometimes by adding a guy just like this will cause other guys to step up their game as well.
It certainly didn't hurt to do what he did in spring training this year. Had several big hits, big defensive plays. Something the big league manager will remember.
I will say this now. I thought he should have made the team out of spring training. I didn't know which player would not make the team. But I was in favor of Quentin making the team out of spring training because the Tigers had no players like this.
Well, he seemingly has entrenched himself in the lineup now. With a couple of more hits tonight. He hit 300 on the road trip. Way inside. Back him out of there. The count fills now 3-2. This Indians bullpen has been lights out against the Tigers this year. An ERA of 1.05. Manny Acta has been able to do in tight games late, bring out the guys we talked about just a couple of minutes ago, including Perez in the middle there. And he has slammed the door.
Yeah, keep them right where they're at tonight.
Is headed that way. Ground ball to short. And Cabrera has that one. So Quentin is out, and that is that. Tigers get a triple, but leave a man. Tigers broke open a close game with a 4-run fourth inning. The big blows in that frame. RBI double by Barry. Cabrera singling in a run, and Prince Fielder hit a 2-run homer. The Prince tonight with 4 RBIs, and you total it all up. The Tigers have out hit the Indians 11-6. Good start to the homestand. Anibal Sanchez looked good as well.
His pitch count is in great shape. That was just the 70th pitch of the evening for Sanchez.
He will face Santana, Brantley, and Lopez here in the 6th. Walking a ground out. And he takes a ball outside. 1-1 on Carlos Santana, who in the month of July reached base in 22 of the 24 he played in. Chops that one foul down the first base line. Brantley waiting on deck. Sanchez had made only one other career start against Cleveland, and that was back in May this year. He went 7, giving up 7 hits, 2 earned runs. Lost that game, even though he only gave up 2 earned runs. Swing and a miss. Strikeout of Santana, 1 gone. Mr. Sanchez certainly has to be one of the contenders for the Tigers player of the game. Brought to you by McDonald's and the Quarter Pounder with cheese. You can vote using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Prince has 4 RBIs. Serious candidate as well. Strike 1 on Michael Brantley. Michael's dad, Mickey, played in the big leagues for many years, and Michael says that every single night he calls his dad and they talk about that game and his progress. But in many ways, Rod, a really good year for him.
He's turned the corner. He finally feels like he belongs in the big leagues. I know they signed Grady Sizemore to a 1-year deal to play center field, but Sizemore still hampered by lots of injuries, and Brantley's kind of taken over that center field spot. Very consistent with the bat. He's not a burner as far as his speed is concerned, but he gets great jumps in the outfield, takes really good routes, and makes all the plays out there.
Sizemore, meanwhile, is still rehabbing his knees and his back. He's had multiple surgeries over the last couple of years. There's a ball outside, 2-2.
Might be a good spot for that changeup that Sanchez features. It's a plus pitch. That would mean really good.
There's the 2-2. Lined up the middle into center field. Santiago made a diving attempt. 1 out single. Back to the studio we go for a game break in Mickey York. Mike Trout. Unbelievable. Thanks, Mick. Well, Chicago came in with a 2.5 game lead over the Tigers. There's a ball low to Lopez.
The White Sox tried to acquire Zach Greinke from the Milwaukee Brewers, but of course he went to the Angels. But he has not had good success against the White Sox hitters over the years. He's had a lot of success against the Tigers, but not a lot of success against the White Sox. So those numbers aren't surprising to me this evening.
Lopez leaving the strike zone, cuts and misses. Sanchez now has thrown 80 in this game. As many as 19 in a single inning. Ground ball foul.
Sanchez used to have an upper 90s fastball, 98 to be exact, but he has touched 95 in this game a couple of times. And that 73 reading his changeup.
one just missed. Jose Lopez 0 for 2. Couple of ground balls. Kochman waiting on deck. Lopez, a former Seattle Mariner where he had his best years. Last year split time with Colorado and the Marlins. But he had 25 homers back in 09. Far and away the most he had hit in a single season. He's gone full now, 3-2. Seven 7-1 Tigers lead. We're in the 6th. They broke it open with a 4-run 4th. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Two gone now, and the strikeout of Lopez. That'll bring up Kochman. Casey 1 out of 2 tonight. Had a lot of success against Sanchez in his career. 8 for 12, or make it 8 for 13, I beg your pardon, with 1 home run. He chops this one to first, but foul. .265 this season against the Central, just .200 against the rest of Major League Baseball. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kochman, who is also one of those hitters that is really difficult to strike out. First round pick back in 2001 of the Angels back then. He's played in several different organizations. Swing and a miss, and a big rip there. Five strikeouts tonight for Sanchez. Avila is able to stop it with a backhand. It rolled all the way out to Sanchez.
Nice hustle there by Sanchez. Avila didn't know where it was.
Ricocheting off the shin guard, back out toward the mound. 2-2 on Kochman. The only run tonight that Sanchez has allowed was the 2-out RBI single to Shin-Soo Choo back in the 3rd. And the 2-2. Ground ball to 3rd, backhanded there by Cabrera. And Kochman is out to end the inning. When we get to the bottom of the 6th, Miggy will lead things off. Then it's Prince, the dynamic duo, starting things off in the 6th. 7-1 in favor of Detroit. They broke it open with a 4 spot in the 4th. And now we've got the big guys coming up. It'll be Cabrera, Fielder, and Bosch facing Jeremy Accardo. Big night for Cabrera tonight. He's had a couple of hits, an RBI, has scored a run, and he looks at a ball inside and low, 1-0. Accardo replacing Masterson, who started this game, lasted just 4 frames tonight, gave up 7 runs on 10 hits. A little bit outside, 2-0 on Cabrera. The 2 hits tonight now gives Miguel 44 multi-hit games here in 2012, and that's a team high. Grounded foul. 2-2. First of 3 between these 2 teams. Tigers coming back home for a brief homestand, and then Yankees are coming in next week. Fouled it off. 2-2. The count stays on Miguel. Cabrera came in trailing Derek Jeter for the most hits in the American League. Let's see. Cabrera, though, is catching up, though. He's got 136. Jeter came in with 137. Those 2 have been fighting for that top spot most of the year.
A couple of guys that will have plaques in Cooperstown when it's all said and done. Jeter and Cabrera.
Right back up the middle, make it a 3-hit game for Miguel.
He is ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, Prince Fielder has had a ridiculous day himself. His first time up, he doubled, just missed, hitting the ball out of the ballpark. That was the 3rd inning. He missed by eyelashes, but then he got himself a 92-mile-per-hour fastball later in the game from Masterson, and that one he did not miss.
They have the shift on now. And Fielder takes a big rip. It's the 2nd time this year that Prince has had a 4 RBI day. He's done it tonight with a 2-run double and a 2-run homer. Good block there by Santana. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Manny Acta, with his shift, is probably wishing he could put somebody on that wall in right center field, or somebody in those seats if it was legal.
There's that hit it here Prince sign.
She wants it again. Nice color sign, too.
And the 1-1. High fly ball left field, not deep at all. Carrera started back. Now it's going to drop. It has been a tough night for Ezequiel Carrera.
It really has. He got fooled by the swing of Fielder, and there are many that will get fooled by a big power hitter swinging the bat and then not necessarily hitting it as far as you thought. And he came in, he didn't know exactly what Cabrera was going to do and was afraid of contact. Nor did he call it.
Base hit. So Prince gets a 3-hit night.
Prince looking for the cycle tonight.
Yeah, he needs a triple.
He can get one too now.
He's going to have to shoot one to the right field, right center field area. Had it bounce around a few times. Bosch sends a ground ball to the right side. Kochman has it there. Bobbles. And they still get 1 out at first base. Well, speaking of Prince Fielder, He had a wine tasting event last night, Rod. It was at the Townsend Hotel in Birmingham, which benefited a couple of charities, and Prince doing some really good work in the community.
As all the Tigers are. He's got his own wine. How about that?
Well, he mingled with guests most of the night, autographed bottles of a Cabernet Sauvignon. And flashing that famous smile of his. There's a drive to center field. Knock it in, a base hit. Cabrera coming around to score. And Andy Dirks has his second hit in his first game back. There's that short, quick stroke that we were accustomed to seeing before the injury.
Andy Dirks did not waste much time, but we have seen this swing time and time again. It is a very short, quick, compact swing, not a whole lot of movement. Dirks knows exactly what he wants to accomplish when standing in that batter's box. Very seldom will you see Andy overswing at a pitch.
So here is Avila. It's now an 8-1 ball game. Tigers have 14 hits in this contest. And Avila takes ball one. Most hits in a game for the Tigers this year, 18 against Texas back on June 27th, so they're 4 shy of that. There's a line drive to right. That's a base hit. Get another run in. Fielder scores. Dirks on his way to third. He's in there standing up. And the Tigers now lead 9-1.
Hitting is contagious. We watched it that final game in Boston where several guys got base hits. They drove in several runs that final contest against the Boston Red Sox, and after a day off, the bats have not cooled off at all.
Scott Radinsky coming out now to have a chat with Ricardo. And while they talk about that, and the Tigers lead 9-1, we asked the trivia question again. What duo in 1994 was the last pair of Tiger teammates to hit back-to-back homers 3 times in a year? And the answer from that 94 team, how about Gibby and Cecil Fielder? They did it 3 times in that campaign. Cecil.
Big Daddy. And Little Daddy.
Not so little. Little Daddy has hit one a long way tonight. About 20 rows deep into the seats and right. And he has himself a 4 RBI night. So here is Santiago. 2 runs in here for Detroit in the 6th. And they lead by 8. Ball 1 to Ramon. Since July the 4th, the Tigers have won 11 of 12 here at home. And they're well on their way to doing the same again here tonight. Really, since 2009, this ball club has done good work at holding home court advantage.
Which was kind of perplexing at the beginning of this year when they got off to such a poor start.
2-1. Well, the Tigers overall this year.
Delman Young demonstrating Prince's swing.
28-21 at home this year for the Tigers. Here's the 2-1. A little bit outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. We're starting to see Delman go the other way a little bit in that last game in Boston, weren't we?
And unfortunately for him, he's the odd man out here tonight because he swung the bat very well. A couple of days ago, Ellsbury in center field made a great catch, taking a double, possible triple away from Delman, and that would have been 3 hits for him in that game.
Meanwhile, Santiago draws a walk to load the bases. It's going to bring up Infante. Three-base hit, but it was stranded back in the 5th. And then has his average up over 200 as a Tiger. Omar sends one foul back into the seats. 15 Detroit hits tonight. The old triple split. Dirks, Avila, Santiago. We've got over 41,000 packed into the ballpark tonight. Driven in the air to left field. Carrera going back. Edge of the warning track to make the catch. Dirks will tag. He will score. Sac fly RBI. It's a 3-run inning for the Tigers. They lead 10-1. It's been a nice night here at the ballpark. We mentioned over 41,000 fans here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Mario and Pemba with Rod Allen. Shannon Hogan tonight. Glad to have you with us here this evening. Brady Klima producing our show, and Mark Isofano, our director. And it's been a fun night tonight and the first day back home after that long road trip. 10-1 Detroit. Here's Jackson. He sends a ground ball through. It's a base hit. Avila coming around. They're going to try and score him. Carrera's throw. The tag. And he's out. And on a tough night for left fielder Ezekiel Carrera, he comes up with a one-hop throw to the plate to nail Alex Avila.
Tigers having a field day coming home here to Detroit. Everybody glad that they're back too. And I have taken over the Fox Sports Detroit Twitter feed, so I hope you're chatting with us online right now. That's at Fox Sports DET. And Mario and Rod, I have a question for you from one of our Twitter followers. They're wondering about fielder adjusting to Infante's range. I know, Rod, that's something you've kind of been paying attention to, but how big of a deal is it and how noticeable has it been, really?
Well, still a work in progress as far as I'm concerned, but he's starting to make some adjustments. When you think about Prince, since the beginning of spring training, he's had to play first base with Rayburn playing second, Inge playing some second, Santiago, and also Danny Worth. And now it's Omar Infante, who probably has more range than all of those guys. So it's going to be very important for Prince to always take a look over the right shoulder just to see where Infante's playing, which will give him an idea of which balls he can go for and simply which balls he should go back to the bag on.
And Rod, Infante obviously flexing his muscles offensively tonight. We saw that triple. Another one of our followers was wondering how difficult it is to hit a triple into left field. I know that kind of be a little bit scary out there, but I mean, how often do we really see that?
You don't see it very often. Not balls hit down the left field corner, but the kid on the other side, Carrera's having a very difficult day in left field. And you got to give Omar a lot of credit as well, because he was hustling all the way, and he made that decision on his own to go to third base. You don't need your third base coach when the ball's in front of you, and that was very nice recognition by Omar Infante. Stick around, though. We're going to give you an example of those plays with Prince and also Infante at second base. Just this completed series in Boston.
Jack Hanahan is the hitter here in the 7th inning. Shannon, by the way,
yes,
I got a tweet.
Oh, no.
Last inning that says we need more Shannon Hogan and less Mario and Rod.
Oh, I don't think that that's fair. I think that the three of us, we're like a little happy family. I'm always glad to be on the air with you guys because you're fun to work with and you're nice to me. And
good answer. You know, good answer.
It's good. No, I don't want to take any face time away from you. I will gladly share it with you.
All right. We appreciate it.
I'll check in with you guys a little bit later.
All right. You got it, Shannon. 10-1 is our score as we play here in the 7th. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count on Hanahan, who's leading it off. And then Carrera, and then Kipnis. Sanchez with the 3-2 pitch. And he walked him.
Here's a couple of examples of what Prince is dealing with the new second baseman. This was in Boston. Max Scherzer was on the mound. Here's a ball right here that Prince goes for. He dives for it, and he doesn't make the play, and that makes it a very difficult play. Easy play for Infante, as you can see. But Scherzer has to go over and cover the bag, and he just does not get there. But then there was another play in the exact same game where Prince knew exactly where Infante was playing, took one step to his right, and then got back to the bag. And as you can see, it's a much easier 4-3 put out than it is 4-1 put out with the pitcher going over and trying to cover, and the second baseman trying to lead the pitcher to the bag.
Now, for the most part, without it being multiple second basemen, shouldn't take too long for Prince to get used to Infante off to his right. There's a strike called on Ezekiel Carrera. Single and a strikeout for Carrera. He was absolutely raking down a AAA. In fact, he had a 20-game hitting streak in the month of July. He was batting .294. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's some action in the Detroit bullpen. Brian Villarreal and Darren Downs, the righty-lefty combination. We're in the 7th. Tigers handily ahead in this one, 10-1. There's a strike call. 2-2. .99 thrown by Sanchez. Anibal gave up a run in the 3rd. That has been it to this point. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball foul, first base side. Carrera last year played 68 games at the major league level, hit .243. Johnny Damon designated for assignment, and he was called up. Took that one out of the glove of Avila. 2-2 the count stays. I think when they got Johnny Damon or signed him in April, Rod, they felt it's a veteran presence who could still participate offensively, and Johnny didn't have the greatest of offensive first halves, but I guess they felt this was the end of the line.
Well, they looked at Johnny's numbers from a season ago down in Tampa, and his numbers weren't bad playing for the Rays. Johnny keeps himself in really good shape, and they were hoping that from an offensive standpoint he could provide a spark. They also had a number of injuries to their outfield very early, but they had to part ways with him.
2-2 on Carrera. Kipnis will be next. Missed it inside, run it full now, 3-2.
Tigers have not had many of these types of games this year where they have a 9-run spread in the 7th inning.
Fouled back out of play. turning into a lengthy at bat for Mr. Carrera. Ezekiel singled, scored a run in the third.
Don't know exactly what Sanchez wants here. If he wants a ground ball to get the double play, or if he wants a strikeout. If he wants a strikeout, he'll throw his changeup. That's a pitch he likes to throw quite often. Even in 3-2 counts, he has the ability to throw that thing over the plate when he wants to.
Here's the 10th pitch coming up. That is driven to right field, base hit.
He threw the fastball.
Hanahan hits the bag at second. He's going to third, and now the Indians have something going here with a walk and a single in the 7th. And Jim Leland will take Sanchez out of this game with Kipnis due up. Darren Downs, the lefty, Villarreal, the righty. And Sanchez about to leave the field in his first start as a Tiger at home. And he should get himself a very nice round of applause.
Pitch by pitch tonight, courtesy of Sanchez, and he had a real nice tight slider today and kept a lot of the Indians hitters off balance with that pitch. But his signature pitch, and it's a good one, that change piece, it fades down and away from the left-handers, down and into the right-handers, and he is fearless with that pitch. And boy, did he get himself one nice of a round of applause as he walked off the diamond here tonight.
He also got a lot of run support, which helped his cause this evening. 6+ innings, 8 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, 5 strikeouts. He is still responsible for the 2 runners. And lefty Darren Downs comes out of the bullpen. And Kipnis hits a ground ball to first. Fair ball. Prince has it, tags the bag, comes home with it, and he's safe. Hanahan scores just ahead of the tag by Avila.
Good heads-up play here by Prince. His momentum carrying him toward the line, so he touches the bag with the left foot. He fires a strike to Avila in a very good area to apply the tag, but somehow Hanahan able to get that left foot in there ahead of the swipe tag by Avila.
We'll make it a 10-2 ball game. So Fielder, who has provided 4 RBIs tonight, very nearly threw the man out at home. There's a ball high and away to Asdrubal Cabrera. 10 runs, 16 hits for Detroit, 2 runs, 8 hits for the Indians. Downs coming into this game had stranded all 5 of his inherited runners, but that one will come in to score. There's a ground ball to third. Cabrera backhanding it. his throw to first in time. Runner will head to third and get in there standing up.
The Tigers battle the Indians this Sunday at 1:05. All kids 14 and under receive a pair of Jose Valverde his replica glasses. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Did you get your pair of sunglasses or Valverde glasses today?
I did.
They're pretty sweet. 46 Valverde on them. Cool giveaway. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. And he looks at a strike. Choo with an RBI single in the third, and for the longest time tonight, that was the only run that Sanchez had allowed. He'll get back out of play. Left field line. 0-2 on Choo. Shin-Soo now with 40 RBIs. Coming into this year was hitting only 186 against left-handed pitching. Most of his damage had come against right-handers. Checked it and he went. Strike three call. And that is that. So Downs comes out to get the 3 outs. It's now 10-2. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Back here at the ballpark, where it's another huge crowd here tonight. Better than 41,000 fans, including that newest Tigers fan. Got a new pitcher now. Cody Allen will come on and throw for the Indians.
Not bad numbers for Allen. They had 43 and a third innings pitched, 3-2 record, and the earned run average was under 2.
Some defensive changes as well. Vinny Rotino is the new left fielder. He'll take over for Carrera, and Brent Lillibridge is the new shortstop. Quentin Berry leads it off. Barry Cabrera, fielder, in a 10-2 ball game in the 7th. First pitch hammered back out of play, 0-1. Quentin having himself another night. Single, double, RBI, and 2 runs scored. .286 batting average now. Strike called. 95 from Cody Allen. 0-2. Ezekiel Carrera is now the new center fielder. To complete your changes. Ball low. 1-2. Justin Masterson started tonight for the Indians. He lasted 4 innings, gave up 7 runs on 10 hits. Here's the 1-2. He got him on the outside corner. Barry disagrees, but he's just going to simply walk back. 1 gone. Well, time now for tonight's Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question of the game. Where's your favorite place to sit at Comerica Park? A, the bleachers. B, the Tiger Den. Those are the wooden seats that you see around the stadium. C, behind home plate. Or D, in the upper box. Enter your vote by texting ACE followed by a space, then the letter answer to 37338.
Those Tiger Den seats are sweet.
Is that your choice?
That's my choice.
It really is hard to beat those Tiger Den seats, but I love sitting behind home plate.
They're very comfortable. They wait on you too. They come take your order.
That's why. There's the ground ball to third. Sprawling play there by Hanahan. He can take it. Those are the Tiger Den seats.
Yeah, I like those. Nice and comfy. I mean, you got some room. They wait on you. Look how spacious they are, though. I mean, it's just get out of the sun.
Those are the upper box, which get a lot of foul balls. Now, last year we did a game from behind home plate, which gave me really a unique perspective from the game, and I kind of dig those seats.
That was cool. You lobbying for another one?
Well, yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, sure. Why
Wait
not?
till it cools off, though. Goodness gracious.
Prince looks at a ball that bounces all the way to the backstop. What were the last one was about bleacher seats. That was the last selection. Not a bad seat in this house, that's for sure.
Including the one we've got,
which is the best seats. There's the bleacher seats. 1-0 on Prince. Ball outside.
Prince is locked in today. He needs a triple for the cycle. He has already doubled. He has a single and a big fly.
And he's ahead 2-0. Swung out of his shoes that time. Two and one on Fielder. Here's the Jimmy John's leaderboard. Once you get to the 7th inning and beyond, Prince and Cabrera, they're pretty good.
That means they're beating up on good pitching too. Because every team in the American League from the 7th inning on has guys that are in 95 and above. But they don't bother hitters like Prince and Miggy, guys who drive in 100 every single year. Dangerous, dangerous bats.
3-1 is a walk. So put the Prince on again. It's the 4th time he's reached tonight. Single, double, homer, walk. Here's Bosch. He's been on base twice, 2 singles, run scored. Allen replaces Accardo, who threw 2 innings tonight out of the bullpen for the Indians. 0-1 on Bosch. 16 Detroit hits, which is 2 shy of their season high. The roller hit toward third. Hanahan gobbles this one up. And it's scooped at first base by Kochman to end the inning. No runs, walk, 1 left. 7 in the books.
Detroit, and I have taken over the Fox Sports Detroit Twitter feed. I've had great conversations with all the fans at home that are joining our conversation here at the ballpark. It's been a really good time. And Mario and Rod, there's one thing I actually tweeted out earlier today, and it happens at all the games. If you've been to a game, you know the Kiss Cam. And I have a little bit of a confession. Every time the Kiss Cam music comes on, I kind of do one of these, like, I know they're not going to come to me, but I'm always nervous that something might pop up. And I'm not the only one. Take a look at this tweet we got from one of our followers. He's gone to many games with girls who are just a friend. He thinks it would be an awkward situation at a Tigers game. Mario and Rod, best Kiss Cam story you've had, because they've been doing it for a while now. Anything you've seen? This was good earlier tonight. I like this couple, but anything weird or quirky you've ever seen?
Yeah, in one stadium they showed Rod and I in the Kiss Cam.
Didn't I plant one on you?
Yeah, actually you tried and I ran.
Well, I always love to. We had other people commenting on the Twitter feed. They're like, oh, I just saw your parents on the Kiss Cam. That's something my parents would do, but I would also be mortified.
Well, I'm sure you would.
Well, you guys, we've had a lot of fun with this Twitter account and taking over. Thanks for your participation, and for the fans at home, I know they had a great time too. So keep following us at Fox Sports DET, and we're going to hopefully do this again sometime soon. Have a great night, you guys.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Great job tonight as she is manning the Twitter account for Fox Sports Detroit. Always fun to see what the fans are thinking about. As Santana leads it off here in the 8th inning against Darren Downs.
I'm always looking around, too. I'm thinking they're going to put us on that Kiss Cam every now and then, but they have not done it.
No.
These are the kind of smooches you get right here when you got a few years in, though. You just get the little peck. When you got some mileage in, that's all you get.
We're analyzing kisses now. That's pretty good analysis. Not quite breaking down a swing, but you know what I mean. Pretty good.
No more high school kisses.
2 balls, 1 strike on Santana. Brantley to follow, or I should say Rotino to follow. He's waiting on deck. Brantley out of the game. There's a strike call. Got some changes now for Detroit as well. Looks like Miggy's done for the night as Infante moves to third base. Peralta, the new shortstop, and Santiago moves to second.
Anytime you can give Miggy some time off, you'll do so.
The 2-2 is hammered down the left field line, hooking, and it is foul. Close for Santana.
Barely foul.
Santana very nearly hit his 12th of the year.
And his 7th home run last 15 games.
Two on Santana. Downs came on in the 7th inning, got a couple of grounders and a strikeout, retiring all 3 batters that he faced. Darren, a great story. Signed as a minor league free agent by the Tigers in the offseason. Spent a ton of time with the minors. And he strikes out Santana swinging. 1 out of the 8th. Here's our Comerica game summary in this one here tonight. Gabby and Prince, 165 combined RBIs, the most of any major league duo. Anibal Sanchez gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, struck out 5, and went 6+ tonight. And Dirks had himself a pretty good game, his first one back off the disabled list. 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Here is Rotino. 0-1. 299 in the minor leagues with Columbus.
They've got 2 Vinnies on their squad now. They got a Vinny Pastano and a Vinny Rotino. Vinny spells his name V-I-N-N-I-E.
The baked Rotino in any Italian restaurant is really good.
I like anything Italian, to be honest with you.
There's no such thing. I made that up. 0-2. It just sounds good. Sounds like something you'd find at an Italian menu.
Rotino's not a pasta?
Rotini? Rotino? No, I made that up. There might be a Rotini. There's a ziti. I used to use that joke when we faced Barry Zito, the baked Zito.
Right.
Yeah, that fell flat then, too. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 16 Detroit hits tonight. The Bats came alive here for Jim Leland in the home ballpark, which was good to see. In fact, 41,000 fans glad to see it. The biggest bat tonight was that of Prince Fielder. Here's the 1-2. And it's sliced to center field. And Jackson runs it down.
Very seldom do you see Austin take a route that's not a direct route, but he has the speed to make up for it. He comes in on this ball, didn't think it was hit as hard. Then he has to backtrack and take about 7-8 steps and make an over-the-shoulder grab. He has been tremendous in center field this year. Well, every year he's been good out there. Has not committed an error all season long.
Jose Lopez cuts and misses 0-1. Lopez has not had a good night offensively. A couple of grounders and a strikeout. 0 for 3. Here's the 0-1. Darren Downs missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Downs had his contract purchased from Toledo July the 3rd. Signed back in November as a minor league free agent.
Another really good sign by Al Avila, the assistant general manager here. He signed Quentin Berry in the offseason. He signed Downs in the offseason. And some guys that you were thinking might just be able to help your big league club if you have an injury or if someone kind of not doing what they need to do.
Well, when Downs originally came up, I'm not sure they thought he'd stick around this long, but Darren's done really good work out of the bullpen. You can't have too many left-handed arms, I think, out of the pen. And he has provided some good work. From 2003 to last year, every single season in the minor leagues. His first big league chance. Almost 700 innings in the minors. There's Kochman waiting on deck. Tigers lead 10-2. We're in the 8th. That's pulled into left field. Base hit. Lopez has a 2-out single.
Don't forget, you can join us again tomorrow for some more baseball as the Tigers continue their series with the Cleveland Indians. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live. That's Tigers Baseball tomorrow at 6:30 here on Fox Sports Detroit.
3 against the Indians. And it'll be Pfister and Ubaldo Jimenez tomorrow.
Ubaldo has pitched well against Detroit this year. He had one start where he had about 5 walks, but he was able to pitch around those 5 walks, and he has pitched much better this year against Detroit than he did last year.
And Pfister has come on.
Well, his last start in Toronto was on point. He was very good.
Kochman is 1 for 3. He looks at a strike.
And really, Pfister wasn't all that bad when he pitched against the Cleveland Indians a couple of starts ago in Cleveland. He wasn't that bad. Didn't give up that many runs. Manny Acta had that suicide squeeze, which was the deciding run in that game. 3-2 game. Mr. Pfister.
Got to work on a new hat for Doug.
He must like that one. Pitchers are like that. They find one that works regardless of how it looks. They'll sport it.
Downs just missed 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I'm sure Jim Schmeichel down there in the home clubhouse would give Doug a new hat if he wanted one. I know that to be factual because if I went down there and asked Schmick for a hat, he'd give me one.
Here's the 2-2 swing and a foul tip, and he stays alive. Kochman had a single back in the fourth. 1 for 3 in this ball game. 9 hits for Cleveland, but they've been out hit 16-9. Tiger bats have been relentless tonight. Swing and a miss, awkward looking. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Darren Downs has struck out 3 in his relief effort tonight. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th.
Let's continue to flip channels here tonight. Prince Fielder hit a double off the gate, which was a big hit back in the third inning. He also had a huge knock in the fourth. That one left the building. 2-run variety. Andy Dirks, a couple of base hits here today. He got one earlier in the ball game, and also Alex Avila chipped in with a big base hit too. So a couple of the big hits today if you missed it.
And Andy Dirks leading it off in the bottom of the 8th. Tigers lead 10-2 in this one. Andy's had a nice return to the lineup. He's been on base 3 times. A couple of singles, a walk, and an RBI. Dirks had not played since May the 30th. That was the last game he played. And heading into his DL spell, he had hit safely in 12 of 15. So he was swinging the bat. And he's still swinging it. That one is lined to right field. Chew with a sliding play. One gone. That'll bring up Avila.
One of the things that Andy Dirks was able to benefit from and not get rushed back with that injury that he had was the fact that the other outfielders were kind of holding their own. Q was doing very nice work, as was Jackson, and Bosch was chipping in and from time to time, which meant that Dirks could stay down in the minors or stay on the DL and get himself 100% healthy and not rush back.
And he needed a lot of time. It was a very frustrating situation for Dirks because he was in a boot a couple of times and it just wasn't healing as quickly as they wanted it to. 2 months worth, but he's finally back. Avila tonight 2 for 4. There's the 1-0. Allen came on in the 7th, gave up a walk but no damage, pitching here in the 8th as well. That's a strike. Team effort tonight for the Tigers. They've gotten a lot of really good performances in this game, up and down the lineup, and Downs has given them some good innings in relief of Anibal Sanchez. Been a good night. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2 on Avila. Santiago will be next. 23rd round selection in last year's draft. We saw Cody Allen in that series in Cleveland, and he's gotten to the big leagues quite quickly. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tipped it actually into the glove for out number 2. And strikeout number 2 for Allen. He's going to bring up Santiago. A couple of walks tonight for Ramon. He has a run scored. Oh, 0-1. Brian Villarreal was warming up earlier in the game, continues to throw. Aaron Downs has given them 2 innings out of the pen. Another swing and a miss by Santiago. Just off the plate outside, 1-2. An update on our poll question: what's your favorite seat to sit in here at the ballpark? And the Tiger Den is leading the way at 39%. Those are Rod's people right there. He loves those seats.
Look how comfortable they are.
Ball inside, 2-2. Right behind home plate is second behind the Tiger Den seats. And the 2-2. Got him. Strike 3. Santiago is out. 1, 2, 3, 8. We go to the 9th with the Tigers comfortably ahead. Win that game and give the Tigers a chance to gain a game in the Central. 10-2 is our score here in the ninth.
I've got a great way for you to keep up with your Tigers. You can do that with the MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. You can get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
So as we go to the ninth, Tigers trying to put a bow on this one, and Brian Villarreal looking for the final 3 outs.
He's got a big league fastball. 43 strikeouts in just 33 innings for Villarreal, and the ERA is outstanding, 1.36.
Strike one. Jack Hanahan, who leads it off here in the ninth.
Just about every fastball that Villarreal throws is 96 miles an hour and above. And his slider has been a very good pitch for him this year as well.
Make it 0-2. Last one at 97. Hanahan tonight with a walk. Indians have 9 hits, but they only have 2 runs, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 7th. Here's the 0-2. Fastball at 98, so he continues to climb, and the count stays 0-2. Carrera waiting on deck. There's a ball outside. Many people are kind of calling Brian Villarreal this year's Al Albuquerque. Albuquerque last year, relatively unknown before he got to the big leagues and really rolled up some big numbers and was hurt. Well, Albuquerque was bumped up to AAA Toledo in his rehab stint. Who knows? He may be on the way back, and there's a swing and a miss. 1 out here in the ninth.
Here's that slider that is a much improved pitch for Villarreal. It stays on the fastball plane until the last 5 feet. Then all of a sudden, as a hitter, you see fastball coming out of his hand because the spin is really tight on that pitch, and you swing and the ball just disappears on you. That was an 87-mile-per-hour slider.
9 strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight.
I think coming into the season, Jim was wondering where he would bridge the gap in the very difficult 6th inning to get to Koch and Dotel and Benoit. And, of course, Papa Grande at the back end of the bullpen. But Villarreal has done magnificent work when called upon, whether it be the 5th, 6th, or 7th inning. Jim has said he believes that the 6th inning is the most difficult inning for most managers to maneuver through their bullpen. The starter doesn't want to come out of the game, and you want somebody that can come in if the game is close, keep the score right where it's at, or if you're winning, hold on to your lead so you can get to your late inning guys.
That's exactly what Villarreal has been able to do. 44 strikeouts in 33 innings.
He's got closer stuff.
That he does. Upper 90s with the other pitchers that you've talked about, and more times than not when he's come into a ball game, it's been a shutdown inning. The 2-1. 3-1 on Ezequiel Carrera. Kipnis on deck. All Tigers tonight. They broke it open with 2 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, added 3 in the 6th for good measure. There's a strike at 97. 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High fly ball right field. Dirks camping under it. And Carrera's out.
You know the drill by now. As soon as this game ends, we'll go back to the Call Sam studio where Simo will be in studio along with Mickey York. Papa Bear is here as well. John Keating. I'm sure he'll have an interview on the field with Maybe Prince. We'll hear from Sanchez. We'll hear from a lot of people. And we'll go right back to the Coliseum studio. That's Tigers Live. Right after this contest.
Simo, did you see your #1 fan? Pretty sweet. 2 gone. Here in the 9th. Kipnis looks at a strike. 1 more out to get, and the Tigers can put this one in the win column. It would be their 56th victory of the season. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back out of play. And now the Indians down to their final strike. Fisker tomorrow night and Jimenez in game 2. 41,502 in the seats tonight. Fought that one off, stays alive.
That was an absolutely wicked pitch right there. Absolutely wicked.
How do you get a piece of that thing?
I have no idea. 97 with late life like that. I mean, look at this thing.
Kipnis has one of their 2 RBIs tonight. There's a single and a double. And the 0-2. High and away, 1-2 the count. Lillibridge waiting on deck. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Downs came on to get 6 outs. And now Villarreal trying to get the final 3. Fouled away. Seventeen pitches now thrown by Brian Villarreal. And again the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Look out, Villarreal.
Brian Villarreal strikes out 2 here in the 9th inning. Tigers strike out 10 or more again. The 32nd time this year. Prince Fielder, the big offensive bat tonight. And it's good to be home as the Tigers roll the Indians tonight. 10-2 our final score. It's a good win for the ball club. Up and down the lineup, they all contributed. We'll have plenty more from Comerica Park. Tigers a big winner tonight.